Good morning, dear students. Let's start our today's new lesson. Our new theme is method and criteria for evaluating written speech. Okay, let's go on. What is give the speaker your undivided attention? What do you think? What's your idea? Maybe you please stand up.
You can give someone feedback.
A bit louder.
Unless you hear it, whether you are evaluating or for the class or you are helping someone else prepare for a public speaking engagement, sit quietly and listen to the speech as it's given.
Very good, thank you. You can't give someone feedback on a speech unless you hear it, yes? Whether you are evaluating a speech for class or you are helping someone else to prepare for a public speaking engagement, sit quietly and listen to the speech as it's given. Let's go on. The main idea of the speech. What is the main idea of the speech? What do you think? You maybe? Main idea of the speech.
Okay, the first thing you want to pick up on in any speech is the main idea that's trying to be communicated. If we are listening to a speech and especially learning the thesis or the main idea that the speaker is trying to prove with the speech is the best place to start.
Very good. If you can't find the main idea of the speech, try to guess what you think the speaker is trying to prove and write it down, maybe in the lecture. And when you are evaluating the speech later, this will be helpful feedback. Yes. And for some speeches like a toast, a tribute, or thank you, the main idea might be obvious, but play it down. Is the speaker getting across the idea clearly, or is the occasion doing too much of the work? Could the speaker do more to make the point of the speech obvious? Okay, try to follow the supporting argument of the speaker. The main point of the speech is like a tabletop. It is useless unless it's held up by the table legs of the exemplar supporting points, argument, logic, and any research that holds up the main idea. How does the speaker prove to the audience that main point is true? What do you think? Maybe you please.
If you are listening to every speech, try to come up with response questions and the resources that you might use for feedback later.
Thank you. If you are listening to an informal speech, like a toast or a speech focused on the organization of the information that we are getting, does it make sense? Does it follow? Does it seem to jump around? What do you think? Maftuna, what do you think?
Going into a speech with a closed mind is that way to evaluate it. Even if you are going to listen to someone give a speech at the flat earth, try your best to go into it with an objective mind.
Very good, thank you. Be willing to be convinced. Fourth, be willing to be convinced. Going into a speech with a closed mind is a bad way to evaluate it. Even if you are going to listen to someone give a speech at the flat earth society, try your best to go into it with an objective mind, willing to listen to the content and the presentation of anyone else's speech. If and when you disagree with it, you will be disagreeing the product, not letting your preconceptions over your criticism. Yes? Take notes. What is your idea about take notes? What do you think?
Identify the key points and argument that the speaker is trying to make and keep track of them in a list.
Very good, thank you. Take notes. Identify the key points and arguments that the speaker is trying to make and keep track of them in a list. You don't need to come out of the speech with a formal outline, but keeping a short list of notes is an important way to generating material or feedback later. Take those notes and your evaluation will be much easier. Write down particularly memorable quotes or moments from the speech to prize. Evaluating specific details. The content of the speech. What was the main argument of the speech? Was the content clear and well articulated? Was the argument supported with research? Good examples. Was the content made clear to the audience? Did the speaker prove their point? Evaluate the content of the speech. What's your idea about evaluating the contents of the speech? You, please.
Okay, the most important part of the speech is not the speaking style, still, or the phrasing of the speaker. It is the content of what is said.
Yes, giving a speech is hard because it has all the challenges of writing an essay, with the added difficulty of having to make it easy to listen to out loud. The most important thing to focus on in your evaluation is the content of the speech. If it is a persuasive speech or an argument speech, the content will likely include a lot of research, real-world examples, and main points. In an informal speech, the content will likely involve stories and jokes. When you are evaluating, keep in mind the following questions and answer them as a way of giving feedback. What was the main argument of the speech? Or what was the content clear and well articulated? Was the argument supported with research? Good examples. Was the content made clear or to the audience? Did the speaker prove their point? Okay. Evaluate the organization of the speech. Who wants to give your own ideas? Maybe you.
In order to make the content of a speech clear and easy to digest, it needs to be organized well.
Very good. Thank you. To help you evaluate the organization of the speech, keep in mind the following questions to generate feedback for the speaker. The style of the speech. How would you describe the style of the speech and the speaker? Did the style of the speech work for the content or against it, and why? How convincing was the speaker? How was the timing of the speech? Was it easy to follow? Evaluate the style of the speech. What do you think? Evaluate the style of the speech.
Okay. If the content of the speech refers to the refers to what is spoken, the style refers to how it's spoken, and a good speech should match the style to the content. And it's like a series paper about the dolphin populations, which will get to know the audience games.
Games and audience participation. Yes, thank you. Now, whether or not a speaker chooses, write your feedback down. Whatever is the occasion and the feedback. If you have some suggestions, it will be too easy for the speaker to forget, especially immediately following the speech. It is best to write a short note, no more than 2,050 or 300 words to accompany your evaluation of the speech, and summarize the speech as you understood it. Starting feedback with a summary of what you took from the speech is the most helpful way to letting the speaker know whether or not what they were trying to say was communicated accurately. Don't worry about whether or not your summary is perfectly accurate or not. If you were listening closely and trying your best, our scheme. Okay.
Hi, and welcome to ACE Study Guides. Today we are going to work on how to structure and write your speech. This would be a good video to watch if you are currently writing your speech or preparing for your BCE oral assessment. Your introduction needs to open in an engaging way. There is nothing worse than someone starting off their speech with a, "Hi, my name is Ace and today I'm going to convince you with blah blah blah." Instead, you should always start with a hook to get the audience interested. Don't know what a hook is? Well, check out our video, How to Create a Persuasive Hook, for more details. A hook is essentially the opening of your speech. It must be engaging and grab your audience's attention straight away. Next, you have to introduce your topic and contention. This means you need to show the audience why your topic is important, what your stance is, and why they should care. Once you have done that, try to clarify your purpose to your audience. Think about what you want to achieve and what kind of impact you want to make on the audience. Now the trick is to be subtle. You don't want your speech to sound robotic by saying, "I believe that mobile phones should be banned in schools and I am going to convince you to believe me." Instead, try something like this. Mobile phones distract and prevent you from learning. Online bullying, inappropriate photo taking, as well